Did you get anything out of that? Are you okay?
That was good.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Oh my gosh.
Try in any situation for just 5 minutes to take yourself out of the equation. So when you're with somebody else, just take yourself out of the equation and focus totally on them, just for 5 minutes. And you won't make it the first few times. We are unbelievably self-centered, myself included. So that practical lesson is just choose, and it is a choice, to take yourself out of the equation just for 5 minutes. And you won't have said anything, Alex, but the other person will know it. They'll know that this is all about me, it's not about him. And we're all very receptive. It's just that's funny, we judge other people by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intentions.
Let me think about that for a minute. Did you write that down?
And so we let ourselves off the hook because I intend to be a good person even if I am a jerk. But the other person, you're a jerk. We don't give any leeway to their intent, their feelings.
We judge based on their actions.
We judge based on their actions, or
And for ourselves,
worse
we
than
judge.
that, just based on we have a background script for life. And so the minute we meet somebody, we just drop them in one of the script boxes we have, and they have to fight their way out for us to change our mind. So we again have judged them, and it's convenient for us. And now we have all the toys and tools to do it with, and so we do it. If you think about it, when you're listening to anything on the news today, listen and realize that the person speaking is judging somebody, and it's whether it's the interviewer or the interviewee.
Yeah.
And that's what has us all so highly
They're riled
tensioned
up.
right now,
Yeah.
is that everybody's judging everybody. And we're so into it that we're not even consciously aware. I mean, sometimes we are. Sometimes we are really in their face and we mean to be. But the rest of the time, we're still in that mode and don't recognize we are. And that's why everybody's going like this at everybody else. We're all poking everybody in the eye. It's not serving us well. And somebody has asked me, well, who takes care of you? And the answer is I've been married to her for 55 years. And I would be a useless piece of stuff without her. Absolutely. She is why I am who I am. And so at 3:45 in the morning, when I tiptoe back in the house, trying to not wake her up and creep into bed, click, on goes the light, and she says, "So let's talk." And
Because she'll know what.
Oh yeah, she knows.
what
Well,
you've
she
done for
doesn't know the details, but she knows. I haven't gone for 3 hours. It must have been not a good one. And she just asks a couple of probing questions, so that I'll open my mouth and do a mouth dump. And then she'll say, "Okay, lie down. Let's go to sleep," and she'll turn the light off.
Yeah.
So that's who takes care of this person. Well, that's who takes care of this person, but at a human level,
Right.
I do have someone.
Yeah.
And then I was telling Alex about Shannon, so I also have a wonderful daughter who, just because of her life skill set, knows how to poke at Dad and figure out, is he really okay?
How's
Is
he
he just doing his usual good
You
fake
have to,
job?
yeah.
In Canada, imagine, we lived out in the country. My nearest neighbor was a 1/4 mile away, who was the chief of police.
Oh, interesting.
And so one day, just like this, I'm sitting at home and knock at the door, and I go to the front door, and here's the chief of police, and he's standing there with a polo shirt in his hand, and it's got the community logo on one side, and it says Chaplain on the other side. And he says, listen, buddy, everybody here thinks you already are, so I'm just telling you, you are, and I'm not taking no for an answer, and so that's
That's how it started.
that's how it all started.
Interesting.
And yeah, and we were at that time where we lived bookended by two large native reservations, and so there was a lot of cultural issues involved there as well. And that helped teach me the cultural elements and how to respond to them. So these things that I've shared with you, they're learned through life experience. I'm honestly not this good, guys. It's just we all can choose to learn or not from life experience, but I have
And you've learned,
chosen to learn.
you've learned from a life where, because of the positions that you've had in life, you've learned from just incredibly traumatic
Yes.
events.
Yes.
And where most of us, we learn anything that we're going to learn by watching people in just our regular walk of life who have not experienced those things, who haven't had to test their skills.
Yes. That is right. Interestingly, a year after we moved back to Canada and I was a pastor, I had gone in, we lived about 70 miles from a city, big city, and I'd gone into the city because I wanted something published for the church as a small document. And so I'm sitting in the publisher's office waiting for his staff to give me a price for doing this. And he and I had known each other 30 years before that. And so we got into a conversation, and I was telling him a little bit about my story, and he says, "Oh, Alex, you got to write a book." I said, "No." I said, no, not interested. And probably once a month after that, he would reach out to me, "You've got to write a book." And I just kept saying no. Well, about a year later, I'm back in his office for another document I'm getting done, and I would wait for these things, or at least for the price. And he starts again, and I says, "Well, you know what?
It's coming."
But I said, "You won't believe it, but I woke up one night in the middle of the night, and I know the title of the book." That's what came into my head while I was sitting there trying to get back to sleep.
What is it?
The title of the book was "I Got a Promotion." The subtitle would be "I Went from Chairman of the Board to Servant of the Lord."
Chairman of the Board to Serving of the Lord.